At any rate, welcome to this edition of the Native News Update. I'm your host for today's program, Paul Demain, on this Wednesday, September 23rd. Many of the stories read here can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com, or check out the TV station online at www.indiancountrytv.com. Here is the news stories for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. Federal jurors in Rapid City, South Dakota have indicted 5 men on charges of possessing, distributing, and conspiring to distribute cocaine and marijuana on the Pine Ridge Reservation. Those charged include 34-year-old Will Times, 40-year-old Guy Yellowboy, 21-year-old Matt Tobacco, and 40-year-old Bervin Brings Plenty, all from Pine Ridge, and 39-year-old Merrill Catches of Rapid City. They've all pled not guilty. If convicted, the penalty on all counts is 20 years up to life in prison. Bail was set at $100,000 for a Yakima tribal police officer accused of assaulting his estranged wife and the man she was with. 26-year-old Anthony J. Hernandez appeared in Yakima County Superior Court this week, where a judge also ordered him to stay at least 1,000 feet away from his wife and the other man. The Yakima Herald Republic reports that the police say Hernandez kicked in the bedroom door at his wife's house last Friday, handcuffed, and threatened to kill the man with her. His wife was treated for a cut at Toppenish Community Hospital, and Hernandez was arrested in the emergency room. Secretary of the Interior Ken Salazar today was joined by college football All-American and Rhodes Scholar Myron Rowley to announce a new partnership that will introduce an innovative physical fitness and health program into interior-funded American Indian schools. Our objective in this initiative is to inspire American Indian and Native Alaskan students to live healthier lifestyle through exercise, outdoor activity, and proper nutrition, Secretary Salazar said. The Bureau of Indian Education funded schools are excited to participate in this initiative, according to Assistant Secretary Indian Affairs Larry Echohawk. They look forward to implementing the innovative features of this program that encourage children and their families to incorporate physical fitness and healthy choices into their daily lives. Our Way to Health provides incentive-based learning experiences, team-building physical activities in the outdoors, health education, and diabetes awareness sessions. Initially, Interior will expand the Our Way to Health program to 5 Bureau of Indian Affairs education-funded schools in New Mexico and Arizona, beginning in the fall of 2009. 3 of the schools are in Arizona and 2 are in New Mexico. Whatever happened to chopping wood for the winter fire? I don't know. Alaskans can't ignore the broad impacts of climate change. Eroding coastal lines and disrupted ecosystems are bringing global warming to the doorstep of rural Alaskan communities. Some tribal villages are now moving to higher ground for the second time in 50 years. Native groups concerned about climate change say they've sat in the corner too long, and now Senator Lisa Murkowski has called for another time out on regulating greenhouse gas emissions. Quote, "We are probably going to have the first refugees of America, climate change refugees, and they're going to be Alaska Native people," unquote, said Larry Merkleif, who petitioned Murkowski to stop an amendment she has proposed that would delay regulations on greenhouse gases. A handful of Native leaders gathered at Murkowski's Anchorage office to demand action now and criticize Murkowski's plan to delay regulation on greenhouse gas emissions. And perhaps a related story. After 170 years fishing and crabbing in the swamps of South Louisiana, a band of American Indians has decided to move away from its ancestral island home and start a new life as a community behind levees. The migration inland symbolizes one of the most obvious defeats in South Louisiana's losing battle with land loss and hurricanes. Albert Nakan, the chief of the Isle de Jean Charles Band of Biloxi, Chitimacha, Choctaw, said yesterday the relocation was inevitable. He said the island community had been flooded 5 times in the past 6 years. Nakan says the tribe plans to use $12 million in federal aid to build 60 homes on 40 acres in Berg, which is about 10 miles back inland. Okay, 20 years after he made Dances with Wolves on the plains of South Dakota, Kevin Costner was honored by the Flandreau Santee Sioux tribe during a stop at the Royal River Casino. The crowd gave Costner a standing ovation this weekend, and tribal officials draped him in a quilt. Fans later surrounded him outside the casino's hotel for pictures and autographs. Tribal President Josh Weston says it's the biggest thing that has happened in Flandreau for quite a while. Costner directed and starred in the Academy Award-winning Dances with Wolves. He said it only made sense to use American Indian actors and to shoot the film in South Dakota when it was shot several years ago. Costner's brief visit to Flandreau followed appearances in Aberdeen during the 2009 South Dakota Film Festival. And inspired by the social, cultural, and physical landscape of the Canadian Shield, Scouts Honor, featuring the work of Michael Belmore, Anishinaabe, and Frank Shebageget, Anishinaabe, also will be showcased at the Museum of Contemporary Native Arts in Santa Fe, New Mexico from October 10th until January 31st, 2010. A number of special events are planned around the exhibition, including an artist talk with Shebageget and Belmore on Friday, October 9th at the Institution of American Indian Arts Campus Auditorium. The Museum of Contemporary Native Arts is located at 108 Cathedral Place in downtown Santa Fe. In 2006, longtime high school friends Belmore and Shebageget reunited for an expedition back home to the northern community of Uppsala, Ontario. The artists, both from the Anishinaabe First Nation, came together to unravel truths and explore their desire to honor their interrelated histories, encounters, and places integral to their nation, families, and selves. Belmore and Shebageget scouted their respective places of origin and found that the one-time familiar landscape between Thunder Bay, Ontario, and Kenora, a place that was, for the most part, abandoned, still inspired them with their beautiful landscape that remained etched in their memories as the place where they found sources of inspiration, respect, dignity, and integrity from the land, water, trees, and rocks. For more information about this exhibit, you can call 505-428-5922. And that is the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We certainly want to thank you for coming back here and giving us another chance to read the news for you today. Gwitch.